Hi guys, Sandra Waito here. One thing I wanted to talk about is self-belief. You see, self-belief is one of the most important factors that you have to be conscious of on engaging, on controlling your life. Whether it's achievement on the business side, on the personal side, whatever area, self-belief is a massive factor on how you execute anything you're executing in life. So I wanted to talk to you guys about 2 years ago, I wrote a list of things that I wanted to achieve on my limited time here. And I wrote it on a piece of paper like this. And it was a massive list, as you can imagine, right? But two of the things that I wanted to point out, which are important because they're actually happening now, right? So 2 years ago, I wrote on this list that I would eventually write a book and that I would public speak, right? So this was about 2 years ago, okay? And, so about a year ago, I started to write content. I just started to write content. I didn't think I was going to be executing this book until the age of like 40, 50, way down the line, right? So I started writing content about a year ago. So I started to have self-belief that I could write a book and that I could public speak. This was 2 years ago. A year ago, as I said, I started to write content, right? So after writing pages and pages and pages of content, I was presented with an opportunity to maybe actually execute this book sooner than I expected, right? And it took me back, and I thought, all right, okay, this sounds good. Let's engage in it a little bit more. Turns out, for those of you that don't know, I'm actually releasing my book next month in March. I'm not sure if it's going to be early, mid, or end, but it should be in March, so keep an eye out, right? It's about the journey of an entrepreneur. And for those of you that don't understand the word entrepreneur, some people relate it to the term of, more business-like person. Yes, that's true per se, but I like to use the term entrepreneur. Someone that actually takes control of their life and just makes things happen to better them, right? And executing however way, whether it's in business, whether it's on a personal side. Now, this is happening in March. So something that I put down 2 years ago, thinking it was going to be, by the time I was 50, it happened literally 2 years later with the book being released next month. After that, by accident, by just, taking action, right? Which is a second point, that's the second factor after self-belief, public speaking. Now, public speaking was one of my biggest fears, and it is for most people. So after this book being written and now being edited and launched in next month, I engaged in public speaking, right? Speaking here, speaking there. It turns out that I got invited to the 2019 Business Migrant Show, which follows 2,000 attendees, and I'm one of the entrepreneurs speaking. So everything's happening really fast. And, so 3 factors that I want you guys to take away from actually taking control of your life is this: self-belief. And this is the biggest factor to design. A lot of people think about, I believe I can do it, I believe this. They're looking externally. Self-belief is the design and the structure you use and methods you combine together to bring everything into a belief. It's not something that you just believe and hope. No, self-belief, there's a lot of ingredients that go in to self-belief. And we talk about that on another video, which I promise I'll share with you guys. But the second one is taking action. So once you've identified that self-belief and it's strong, it doesn't have to be 100%, but it has to be there in your conscious, right? You start to take action. When you start to take action, you relax because you know you're taking action, and you have to just allow the universe to do the rest and trust that process. Because if your goals and your self-belief is always conscious at the top of your head, you start to take action. However it happens, don't ask me how, but this happened, right? You just have to allow the universe to do the rest. You see, there's a couple of things that people don't understand, and sometimes you think you're doing so many things right, but you're not executing them. When you execute them, they're not turning out that right. I'll give you an example. So you see me sideways, right? Everything that I do from here is physical, right? Everything that I bring out, talk, touch, it becomes physical, so tangible stuff that I do from here on. The back of me is everything that I've absorbed in terms of energy, in terms of negativity, positivity, wherever it is that I'm experiencing in my past, right? Everything that I execute, if your past and your energy levels are not right, everything that you execute from here forward doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna turn out great. And if you ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What's happening? You know, why is everything that I touch turn into a mess? I'll tell you why. You haven't worked on that self-belief enough, right? Self-belief is a combination, as I said, of many ingredients. And if your energy levels and your belief and everything that goes with it, is not right, regardless of what you do perfectly or think you're doing perfectly, will not be executed correctly. So you have to make sure you're working on this. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you actually one clue on one thing that will actually re-enhance this, and that is get rid of your network that is providing nothing but negativity, right? You want people around you that add value, not make you feel better, not make this, add value to you, because the more people and the more positivity you have around, it starts to unleash that self-belief. You start to feel, this is for me. My name's Sandro Aitor. Stay tuned for my next video. Thank you very much.